It's Joe here from Retro Gaming, and we're live for our weekly Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes stream. If you just give me a second to set up a few things here, we're going to get the message out to a few regular watchers and stuff that we're all up and running. Get my chat up on my screen. Alright, and we are good. Yep, and as you can see by the title, today we're going to be taking a good look at Emperor Palpatine. I've just unlocked him. Hey, hi sir. Um, I've just unlocked him. I'm not going to be able to 7-star him this event, sadly. I had 4 rebels at 7-star, and then I didn't even have a 5th one unlocked by the time it was announced. I've been pretty unable to speak lately. No, I've been working pretty hard on Lando to get him up. I got him up to 5-star, as you can see here. But hey, look, it's everybody. Oh, it's not everybody. It's Joe. El Guapo is here. Good old Maurice is here. What's up, everybody? We're going to talk Emperor Palpatine. And I want to wait for a couple of guys from the guild to come over because we're having some great conversation over there, and that was pretty stimulating in the least rude of ways. And I wanted to try to get some of the other guys across this to say what's up. So I got my Lando up to 5-star just so I could get Grandpa Palps unlocked. As you can see, I've got him here. I'm not going to be able to get him to 6-star this event, but I don't see why that doesn't mean we can't. That's the 7-star, sorry, this event. But I don't see why that doesn't mean we can't talk about him now. You can tell by my inability to actually string a sentence together that I'm in desperate need of some coffee. Nice haircut. Did you go through a drive-through? No, I just sort of woke up and it'll have to do. Um, Finding someone who hasn't purple geared Vader. Yeah, I haven't purple geared Vader. Wow, there's a lot of comments here. Yeah, Star Wars. Some good coffee. Oh, only the best. Let's pour a little bit of that up. I'm drinking some Tanzanian roast this morning. It's pretty good. I'd like to go to Tanzania. Sounds like a pretty cool place. All right. Hey, Fred. Hey, John. Wow, we're getting a good crew in this morning. So Emperor Palps, Grandpa Palpy. Um, let's at least level him up enough so that we can look at his skills. We'll pump a bit of cash into him. Maybe getting him up to this sort of level, and we'll start to gear him so we can open those skills up and have a look at them, and then we'll refer to the actual maxed out skills from another website over here. But I want to put a little bit of love into him. Now, first thing to talk about is I love it when they call me Big Palpy. Well, Big Palpy, El Palpo. Does that work? Probably not. Obviously, Palps is the hot stuff at the moment. Everyone is pretty excited to try to work out some teams they can do with him. His leader skill is very interesting. He has a lot of skills. He seems like a really powerful character. And I would really like to be able to get him unlocked to his max, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. Now, we can look at his skills but without having to unlock them, but I just want to give him a bit of love anyway. I'm going to try to get him to 6-star this event, so I can at least try messing around with him in Galactic War and playing around, but let's get stuck into the skills. So, his first attack is Lightning Strike. Okay, now we are seeing the lowest level possible skill here. We know with 6% turn meter for each shocked enemy, but actually at max skill, they will be shocked for 3 turns and have 15% turn meter for each shocked enemy. Now, shock is a new skill. A lot of people wondering what it actually does. To my knowledge, shock is kind of like a combination of uh, buff, block, and and healing, immunity, kind of all rammed into one more powerful skill. Let me see if I can find the exact description somewhere here. If anyone in the comments wants to chime in, I definitely should have done my research before I started talking about this character, but I forgot about the shock thing. Right. But yeah, it's a pretty powerful skill. I don't think it's what people are using Emperor Palpatine for. I think a lot of people have kind of glossed over the fact that he has this skill because his other skills, which we'll look at in a little bit, um, are all or so much more powerful. I mean, shock isn't that new. I know some of the other Empire characters have. I think Magma Trooper has it. I'm not entirely sure, but so yeah, it's kind of it stops all. It's a basic buff deblocker, but it seems from what I understand here, it also blocks taunt. So it means they're just immune to all positive status effects and to healing. So it's an extra powerful buff immunity that also will block any kind of same Prinny from PS4 Prinny. Playing on PS4? Anyone feel free to add me on PS4. Yeah, shock stops taunters from taunting. I guess that's what makes it better than just health buff and the rest. But anyway, helpful little first skill there. We'll just get that up to basic level. You see it's going up there. It eventually winds up with 3 turns and 15%. Now, onto his secondary skill. This is the one that people are really excited about. This is the AoE stun. So we're seeing the base level stats here, but at the maximum level, as you can see, it's up to 55 on mine already. It is special damage to all enemies with a 70% chance to stun them for 1 turn. 70% AoE stun. And shocked enemies are stunned for 2 turns, but remove their shock. So you can get a longer stun rather, but you lose that sweet shock. But it doesn't really matter. The reason you're shocking people is so they can't taunt, and if they're stunned, they can't taunt, except with the notable exception of Royal Guard, who we'll get onto. This is the skill that people are getting excited about. From what I've seen, it's really powerful. Tenacity is going to become much more powerful if Emperor ever makes his way into the meta and is seen on a regular basis. I mean, tenacity is already pretty important if you ask me, but it'll become all the more. So, Captain Phasma, PewDiePie is quitting YouTube. Awesome. That creates an opening for me. I have a similar presentation style and sense of humor. Right. I just don't do the voices. Not 12. Let the hate flow. Okay, so this is pretty cool. His one of his second active ability. Barry says he's in top 10. Rather, I'll refer to him as El Guapo. Says is in the top 10 in 3 teams in my shard. Yeah, we're gonna go and see if we can find a couple of fight in mine. I'm not seeing any particularly complex Empire or Sith teams with him yet, but I am definitely seeing a couple of leads, and it's not pretty. Especially against my team, which, as most people know, is the droids. Alright, all allies gain offense up for 2 turns, and all units lose 5% of their max health. I like this. He's hurting people. It's kind of, I think this is the only other character I can think who does something like this is Talia. Oh, Tanzania, you taste great. Is Talia and her health, her heal where she damages herself. He recovers health though, so he's stealing it off of everyone else. And each shocked enemy gains 10% turn meter and refreshes the duration of shock to 2 turns. So you give them a bit of turn meter, but the shock reset. So they might get a bit of turn meter, but they're still unable to taunt or anything like that. So pretty cool. Then we have the leader skill. Now this is really, again, probably the second thing that everyone is looking at for Grandpa Palps here. Empire and Sith allies gain 32% potency, so here we're at 23. Jedi and Rebel enemies have minus 23, or rather 32% potency and evasion. And whenever an Empire ally inflicts a debuff during their turn, they gain 20% turn meter. Whenever a Sith ally inflicts a debuff during their turn, they recover 20% of their max health. So, I guess, obviously there's this blanket potency for Empire and Sith allies. So you're going to want to try to build a 5-person Empire and Sith team, which I think is how all teams should be. I'm a little bit of a stickler, a little bit of a, stick up somewhere anyway for teams that have full synergy for all of the members. I know that a lot of the meta teams don't, and as we get into team building, it might turn out that arguably the best teams you could build with Grandpa Palps also probably don't, just because Empire and Sith don't have enough really A tier characters. But we'll get there later. And obviously, turn meter seems a lot more appealing than 20% heal. So it's really the Empire you're going to be wanting to put with Palps. But I don't know. I feel like there's a couple of Sith characters who could really be quite good as well, which we will get into. And finally, Crackling Doom. At the end of each of his turns, Palpatine deals special damage to all shocked enemies, and then deals special damage to all Jedi and Rebel enemies. This damage can't defeat enemies. So this is interesting. You can get people down to 0 health but not kill them, which might mean something like damage over time might become very, very handy. You can put a damage over time on the full team, and there's obviously one Empire character I'm thinking of who does a particularly powerful damage over time attack. And every team build I've seen with Emperor Palpatine includes Vader, and I can see why. And then you could do this attack, and then by the time Vader's damage over time kicks off, you could be killing several people. Interesting. I'm not sure how much damage this does. We'll get into damage in a bit. His special damage looks like it can be... He's not doing a great deal of damage, let's just say, for Palpatine. He has quite a high power, but he's definitely a support character, as he's described. He's not here to deal out the damage. He's here to provide all of these awesome skills so other guys can do it. So let's go see if we can find one to go find someone to fight against. Oh look, I got my guild contribution. So I think the best way to review him would not be to use him ourselves, but to let's take a look at the comments. He hits hard. I mean, I guess his primary looks like it can do a fair amount of damage. His basic attack, though his AOE is definitely not there for the damage it's dealing out. It's clearly there for purposes of stunning and maybe not a lot else. But it is worth digging into his stats a little bit. We mentioned the power, 7,598 at max gear, max ability. That's pretty strong, but I don't think his strength is particularly high, which doesn't really make the most out of the power. Power's a bit of a deceiving number. You find some of the characters with the most power in the game don't actually do that much damage. Oh, okay, Captain Phasma was being facetious. Barriss deals OP damage, which we know to not be true. Where was I? Yep, speed. That's where you're going to be running into problems with Palpatine. 122 at max. That is weak. He's got a high potency at about 47%, which is good. You can then use mods to... That's where you're going to be wanting to get your mods up, and we'll talk about mods in a bit. I would like to hear your opinions too. I'm just talking away at the moment, which isn't really the point of a stream. I'm just going to go have a look in here. Nothing for me. Oh, we need to start a raid soon. Yeah, so let's go see if we can find a team to fight against in arena that has it and see how that pans out. Maybe we can have a look at some teams. John Wilkinson says, I've seen one at 192 already. Yeah, so there we go. Pretty starting to get pretty scary. It's definitely something that needs to be neutralized. You can't be. Now you can see here, I am farming Grand Moff Tarkin just because I want some Empire guys. Mostly for other battles. Let's see if there's any on my server. I know there are a couple out there, but they may have just been experimenting and may have gone back to their old teams. I didn't see too many. Oh, well, there we go. In second place, there's a Palpatine up there. There's a Yoda in fourth. Maybe the Kylo Ren's onto something. Yoda Jedi Tenacity lead versus Palp. I've seen Palp crit over 8k on his AoE. Not too bad. You're right. That's not bad. That must have been heavily modded, because I think the base damage for that AoE is 2000 in the mid 2000s. So he must have had some good mods and got a particularly good crit. We got another one in 6th, another one in 8th, another one in 11th. Okay, so we might just need to win a fight, and then we can go talk. I'm using speed and crit chance on Palpatine, though I was thinking of all crit with speed secondaries. Yeah, I think speed is going to be important for Palp because he is slow. I've fought him a couple of times. What we'll do is we'll do a quick fight just to get us up the ranks a little bit, so that the next fight we can take on. Because I've dropped pretty low overnight. I think I'm really going to need to rework my team. Grand Patron's in the house. What's up, Patron? Patron? Yeah, we're going to need to do a couple of fights to get up the ranks. So I didn't really do my arena properly yesterday. I had a busy day. And, alright, let's take out this team in 18th. The only reason I'm not taking out this team in 17th is actually sometimes they give me a little trouble. We'll give it a go. Sometimes that fives can really mess around with my team, but let's get as high as we can. Oh, which reminds me, I think I might have what I need to get my Nebbit up to the next gear level. Oh, I need these things. What the hey? I know we can get them from a regular thing, but let's just see if we can get enough. 11. I want resistant super shards anyway. 0. Alright, let's just quickly get a bit of gear. We might be able to craft. Oh, all that Nubian tech on my Nebbit. Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? Yeah, let's do it. Alright. So we got our Nebbit up to gear 10. I guess that's where he maxes out. Oh, looks like I might be officially maxed out. There we go. My Nebbit's finished. Now I can forget about him for a bit. Alright, now where were we? We were fighting the guy in 17th with our shiny new maxed out Nebbit. I'm thinking of some new teams for my Poe. Let's see if we can take out Anakin. I can normally generate enough damage to kill Anakin. No ability block. Let's hope we don't wind up. Okay, this is fine. Okay, that should be fine. He's going to get one AoE off, but then he should die. Poe is under the radar, especially going into this new AoE meta. Yeah, we've been talking a lot about Poe within our own guild. Oh, did that not kill him? You gotta be kidding me. This could be a bad fight. I should have been dropping those grenades on Stormtrooper Han as well. I'm not doing a very good job here. Okay. All right. I should still be able to squeak through. I played that very poorly. This 5s could cause me some trouble. Yeah, I'm probably gonna struggle here. I might be able to take him out. I hope I do, because otherwise I have to fight all over again. Okay, that might have bought me the time I need. Okay, we'll squeak through, despite some pretty poor planning. Yeah, okay, we're okay. Oof. Made hard work of that. I could have done a better job there. I don't like those anti-teams with 5s, but I wanted that extra rank. Right, now next time we'll be able to fight this Palpatine here. Though I'm seeing this a fair amount, is people not really building proper Palpatine teams, you know. And just kind of, this just looks like any old double taunt team with Palp lead. He's not, his leader skill is essentially not being used here. Yeah, I'm not really sure why you'll do it, but they're still competing in the top 10, so that shows maybe just how powerful Palpatine is. He's even just buffing himself, he's worthwhile having in. So, kind of worrying about how powerful he could turn out to be. Now, anyway, if we were going to build a full Emperor Palpatine Empire Sith team, what are you guys thinking? Ritual Gaming is the best. Hit subscribe. I thought it said hit the subscribe button, but don't say anything nice to Joe. So, yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, it does seem a waste only buffing himself, KF Dan. I agree, but I'm definitely seeing them in the top 10. You know, they're still competing. If he can be so powerful only buffing himself, you know, when people start to get their Vaders up. So Aguapa says Big Palep, Vader, RG, Dooku, Sidor Grand Moff. Yeah, I think your first two there, I would definitely, my brain goes straight to them, is Vader and Royal Guard. I mean, I haven't bothered really working on my Vader. Until I get him up to at least 6-star, I don't see the point. I got him up for some. I will use him for the Empire challenges, but it's clear to me just how powerful it would be. He's anti-Jedi as well, so Anakin teams beware if this is paired up with Palp. He is tanky. He does a lot of damage. He's got that crazy damage over time effect. Yeah, Dan says EP Vader RG. Yeah, Palpa Vader RG are a must. Yeah, yeah. I think everyone's on the same wavelength. You know, these Vader and Royal Guard are the must. Yeah, that AOE. We already talked about AOE. Moff Tarkin, yeah, I'm thinking Moff Tarkin as well, which is why I'm working on him out of Arena. I'm not very far up on him, but I'm also not going to have Palpatine until the next time this event comes around, which could be in a few light years, considering they've already said it is extremely rare. The Culling Blade, this thing just does crazy, crazy damage. Gets that turn meter, it gets a second go if he finishes someone off with it. This is just a great skill. I mean, everything. That's a leader skill we won't be using. But yeah, I think Vader is a must if you're going to use Palpatine. So keep checking that shard shop. Try to get your teams ready to beat all the events. Right? Royal Guard, okay. I don't think most people who are watching this stream really need a description of what Royal Guard does, but I'm going to do it anyway because you never know. Might be someone here who's not, as in most of the names I see in the chat, already level 80, super powerful with a good arena team. Royal Guard is just the tankiest of tanks. He can taunt automatically. This is the skill that really makes Royal Guard tick. He will taunt every time he goes below 50% health and gain turn meter and a few other little things. And he stuns when he attacks. I mean, that's really Royal Guard in a nutshell. Huge amount of health, auto taunt, stun. The defensive ability on secondary, I can sometimes use it if I don't want to inflict slow on people, and I just want to improve my defense. It's sometimes quite nice to just buy time. So, who does that leave? Ewok Scout, Ugnaught, Lobot, JC. I mean, well, that's it. Phasma, you got it. Yeah, and Vader has speed down on his Omega. So let's take a look at Grand Moff Tarkin then. Mine's down here somewhere. I'm pretty sure I've unlocked him, but I haven't put any love into him. There he is. So we'll bring him up on screen, but I'm going to read off of a finished maxed out stats. I'm just going to get him up on my screen over here. We want Grand Moff. Okay, so obviously we know Grand Moff has this great AoE attack. We got this physical damage, and it deals more damage for more living ally. That goes up to 10%. It's not got a great deal of damage on it, in the high 3000s to low 4000s, which on a crit could do a little bit of damage. He's got fairly good strength and decent power. Look at that speed though. Ooh, 102. Gross. He's got 102 speed, right? Then he's got his secondary. This is really good. If you can get some potency onto Grand Moff Tarkin and remove 50% turn meter, this percentage, by the way, goes up to 45% chance to remove 70% of their turn meters at max, which is BANANAS, if that's how you spell it. It's a long time since I've been at school. And then he can do this debuff fun and games. Intimidation tactics. Especially it does speed down on rebels. He gets a bit more turn meter. Offense down is very handy. I think offense down is probably one of the better of the debuffs. Especially when you're fighting against teams that have a couple of real damage dealers. I know for a fact when I run my droids and Ben gets his offense down off, you go from really slamming people and being able to easily one-shot guys to really struggling, pulling through the mud. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Veers. Veers could be good, yeah, but as has been pointed out directly afterwards, all of that gear, he is a nightmare to gear. Veers is a nightmare to gear, especially when he needs so many Nubian design tech, which as we saw when I just gave away 50 to my little Chief Nebbit there. They are probably the hardest bit of raid gear to come across. They're a bit of a nightmare to gather, and I need one more if I want to ever get my Poe to maximum. So my next one is earmarked for Poe. And so what other guys do we see that could fit in there? Well, we'll take a look at Veers in a minute. He's way down in my not even unlocked list. Sid. Could this see Sid make a comeback? Well, you know, Sid, his skills are particularly handy. This demoralizing blow, right, where you're doing damage over time. and it does more damage over time. And physical damage to target enemy and inflicts healing immunity, right? These are all pretty good. And of course, he gets a bit of turn meter, and he has that Jedi evasion. He could be good. I don't know. With the Sith synergy with Emperor Palpatine giving back 20% health rather than giving extra turn meter, I don't really see it. Dooku, yeah, Dooku would be the one Sith I might consider. I don't have a very good Dooku here. But yeah, you think of all that potency Emperor Palpatine will be giving out with Dooku. That double stun could be a complete nightmare. And yeah, KF Dan saying, I agree. TM gain is much better. Is Max Sid still squishy, mods and all? I'm sure you can make him not squishy. I just wonder. Wow, you can tell I'm tired the amount of ums I'm giving you this morning. Sorry, guys. You can you could probably make him not squishy, but at the expense of what? You might want to be doing something a bit more exciting with Sid. You know, giving him some critical damage up or a bit more. You wouldn't need the potency, I suppose. The good thing about Emperor Palpatine is he takes away the need to really have to eke out potency from other mods by just giving it to everyone. So that's something to consider. But I think Dooku could be a Sith you might consider. He's not particularly healthful, whatever you want to call it. So that 20% isn't really much to write home about. But that potency that he gets is, so that's a consideration. We've got those forgotten boys or girls, you never know what's under the helmet, of the Empire Legion. Snowtrooper? Maybe? Anyone? Hey, Rimon. What's up? Yeah. Probably not Snowtrooper, hey? But you never know. There's Stormtrooper. Magma Trooper here. Now, am I right that Magma Trooper gives shock? I might be imagining things. It's just something in my head. I thought for some reason I seem to remember Magma Trooper being the first character to give shock, but I might be completely wrong. I am 100% wrong. Just wrong. But Magma Trooper could be a consideration. It's certainly easy to get. I'm 15 shards away from not having to farm any more shards for Magma Trooper, but I just don't think is a particularly powerful character. Yeah, Snowtrooper can ability block, but not much else. Mags does not shock. He does remove TM though. That's not bad. But he hits with a pool noodle. Yeah, I feel like Snowtrooper struggles in a similar way, not doing much damage. Not that I've ever really faced many maxed out Snowtroopers. But then there's Stormtrooper. Could be interesting. You know, the team is missing a tank. No, it's not. It's got Royal Guard. But let's see if this Stormtrooper can bring anything to the table. High attack variance, high damage variance, where we can see with Stormtrooper hand that doesn't really matter. Kaya says, I'm liking Snowtrooper and Magma Trooper. Stormtrooper is the worst character in the game. You've said that about a few people so far, Captain Phasma. Taunt for 2 turns and give all your Empire allies defense up. And gains defense. I mean, Stormtrooper, whatever. I think Stormtrooper needs a bit of a... I know Stormtrooper's a pretty generic character, but if those aren't the most generic set of skills, I don't know what are. Yeah, there's just not that many other characters that really make a really appealing Empire and Sith team. There is one that I've been considering, and it's someone way down the bottom here that I haven't unlocked. The Forgotten Sith. Savage. Could be interesting. Getting 20% of Savage, his health back, is very much a powerful thing. Savage has some pretty nutty health. Oh, Rimon, everyone's doing fine. I've been enjoying watching your videos. Yeah, so Savage could be interesting. You know that critical chance up on finishing blows is pretty good. That super powerful attack that he can do could be interesting for finishing off tankier characters. You know, you could take out some pretty tanky characters. And I suppose the only remaining character I can think of. No, I was just checking if Kylo Ren comes up as either Sith or Empire. No, that's pretty much it. So there's not really all that great of a pure Empire team that I can think of, or Empire slash Sith team that I can think of. If you got any more ideas, throw them in the. Oh yeah, Darth Maul. We forgot about Darth Maul. I'm sure Remon can tell us about Darth Maul. I know you have a beefy one. What do you think about Darth in a Palpatine team? Could be interesting with the right mods. Can't believe I forgot about him. Well, I can't believe I forgot about him. I haven't seen him used in the game in any capacity for months and months and months. I do actually have one sitting in my box. Let's go remind ourselves of what he does. Probably down in the 4 stars somewhere. I got him out of a chromium pack way back when. I thought chromium packs were a good idea. But mostly it's this 10 meter and Jedi damage, plus that huge AoE, and getting extra turns when you kill people. We're not using the leader skill. And yeah, so Darth Maul really focuses on killing people, which again could be interesting with Sid's Emperor Palp's a special damage thing that he does that cannot kill people. That's right, Joe's streaming now. Better get over here. Alright, so let's go take on a Palpatine team. Not a very good one. It's just a pretty standard double taunt team with Palp in the lead. But let's see if it gives us any troubles. I think. Yeah, Maul, I think, is probably pretty high up the list for a rework. I would agree with you guys in the comments there. You know, he should be. What a cool character to just have languishing in the dredges of the game. You know, no one's using him, and he's just, you wanted Maul on your lunchbox when you're a kid. Come on, kill. Of course, I get the one person that won't kill Ray. Alright. This is gonna suck. Okay, the only person I need to be alive is alive though, which is good news. Not that good news. I've got her right down to the tiniest amount of health once again. This is going to be something of a struggle as well. So we can see, more important than being able to... should I heal? Yeah, I can probably heal. Oh wait, no. There's a damage over time on Rey. Do you think that's going to kill her? That should be able to kill her. Let's leave her. We'll leave it as a little surprise. I'm wondering if I should heal Nebbit. My other guys are doing pretty well, and they'll still be kicking. I want Nebbit alive. Oh, I forgot. Nebbit's shocked and doesn't get any health. There you go, kids. A lesson about how shock works. You cannot heal people with shock. I'm used to only seeing the health debuff. Yep, I didn't think about that, guys. I'm real good at this game. That's why I stream about it on the internet and make people think I know what I'm talking about. So you can see Emperor Palpatine's AoE stun is really giving me some trouble here. And I lose. I'll just auto through the last part. I don't think I'm winning this. So we can see, even with Palpatine as lead and me playing really well, it is definitely worth having up. So we can see having Palp as the lead on a regular double taunt team. Now, I think what really got me there was the fact that I didn't finish off Rey. That team didn't have the most DPS, but Rey just managed to get into Nebbit a bit. I think running against that team, I might be more likely to want to really run Royal Guard in place of Nebbit. And I've been having these thoughts about Nebbit. I've double tanks of the devil. Then you add Old Man Palp. Jeez. Yeah, let's go have a look at what this guy has on. He's got 4 potency, 5 pip, 3 5 pip, and a 4 pip potency, and 2 defense. Let's take a closer look at them. Defense with potency, speed and critical chance. More speed. More speed. So they've just cranked his speed up to max and given him some potency mods. So you can see there why my poor little droid buddies got absolutely wrecked. Now I still think we could have survived that if I didn't let Rey survive for so long. We'll try it again in 6 minutes and 6 seconds. Go and get a couple of these things. Why don't we go do a little bit of Galactic War? If you guys have anything you want to add about Emperor Palpatine, I think we covered just about everything, the potential teams, most of the stats and everything like that. But it is Galactic War Day, so we should go in and do a little bit of this while we hang out. It's interesting that we saw a Yoda team in there, in my top kind of group there. Do you think that Yoda could be, something to put out there against Emperor Palps, like a Yoda team with Anakin and Qui-Gon? And I guess the problem we have is that whilst so many people have anti-Jedi stuff, no one really has anti-Empire and anti-Sith stuff. So no one's getting that bonus attack or anything like that. We'll try to beat that Empire team. We'll try to beat that Palp team again in a minute. We'll just quickly flick through the first few. I'm going to go have a look at that Yoda team after this game and see what they're running. Yeah, tenacity up hurts Palp's game plan. I would agree. Let's go have a look at what that Yoda... unless you're like that guy and you get the potency up to crazy levels. Let's actually go and have a look at what percentage that guy had his potency at. Speed up at 174. That's not bad. Potency at 72.3%. So yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. 35k health and protection. Yeah, I mean maybe it's the Emperor we need to take out first and not Rey. Should we try that next time? What do you guys reckon? Rey first or Emperor first? It's just Rey behind those double taunts. It's just horrible. It's still a concern after all these months and months and months of changes and everything that's gone on. Rey and double taunt, still ugly. What's this guy up in second running? Same thing with Anakin instead of the second taunt. Could be a concern. We got Legba here, running same thing. And Kylo Ren. Wow, that's an interesting team. The thing about it is it's a direct counter to Emperor Palpatine, but I know for a fact my team would absolutely steamroll this. So if you go for the direct counter, you just wind up making yourself vulnerable to every other team on your shard. Tessime. Same again. And Grey 1111. Well, we just saw how that went. So, how much time we got to kill? Alright, 2 minutes. Hey, Phasman, you've got some very helpful input today. Well done. Tank challenge. I just run the second one because I want. Tank challenge is annoying because the stuff you get from the top tier is just things you don't need. I only got 534 of those. I guess I've got 137. I used to have a problem with these, but now I've got 137 of them from running tier 4 for so long. Rey loses health on critical hits. Don't let her life lose purpose. Go on flames. You need those blue shafts a ton, yeah. But I seem to have gotten up to a pretty decent number of them. Let's go buy some Cantina Energy. And let's do some mod challenges. I need some mods. So let's do 10 health mods. I could do some critical damage mods as well. I just want to farm a few mods and see what I get. Because I want to start working on Poe. And I'm going to dump the rest on. Who should I dump the rest on? I did want to try working on so I've been looking at a new team for droids, which is where I maybe get Poe to max and put in Magna Guard instead of Nebbit and have HK, IG-88, IG-86, IG-100 and Super Speedy Poe. No JE, sacrilege, but I'm not sure. Could be fun. I guess I'll just throw some more at Lando, get him maxed before next time. Nine. That's not bad actually. I find that Lando seems to drop pretty readily from that 8 tier. Right, how are we doing over here? Okay. Let's take on Palpy again. Now, do I want to put Royal Guard in instead of Nebbit? Probably not. Yeah. If I can get my ability block off, if I get IG-88 or HK to get an ability block onto Palp, I think I probably win. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Now I know he can't do his stun. So now I'm afraid that I will take her below half health with the fence down. I probably will. So I'm going to put it into Royal Guard and hope that I can get that. Oh wow, I didn't see that one coming. How did Rey get so fast? Well, now I'm in trouble. Right. Take that. I don't want to waste. I never got stunned. This isn't going so well. Okay, here we go. Alright, not so bad this time. So yeah, you have to tiptoe around these teams. You have to play completely differently. You got to hope that that ability block drops. This won't kill him, but it might get him close enough that the grenade will. All right, so much better luck this time. I guess you just could have played a bit differently and really manage your damage output. When you win, you really win. Because now, barely got through the protection of. Oh, I didn't even get through the protection of a single character. All praise be to RNGesus. Yeah, it's all those, just all a little bit of luck on those numbers and getting potency up on my AoE, I guess. So, if I learn anything from that, the good thing is, I'm still not seeing a lot of OG Han on my server. So my JE hasn't been completely negated yet. But yeah, it seems that ability block first turn on Palpatine is going to be important. Stuns and ability blocks, just don't let him get that AoE stun off, otherwise you in trouble. Oh, I've been talking so much I've neglected my delicious coffee and it's gone cold. Shame on you guys. Alright, well look, that's probably it for our little review of Emperor Palpatine. Hi Kleis, what's up? If there's anything else you want to do or add, I got a bit of time, but otherwise I might just call it a day. Otherwise it's just going to be boring old me doing my galactic war. We could try to fight another. Let's see if there's any other Palpatines higher up in that link. There's Tessemae, but I'd only be going up one rank, and it is the same team that I just faced. Now we'll call it a day there. Thanks for coming along, guys. Thanks for all your input on Emperor Palpatine. Like I say, I won't be getting him here this time around anyway, but I hope some of you guys can, and I hope you get to dominate some droids teams like I got smacked around just then. Seems like running him out of a pretty boring old double stun Rey Qui-Gon setup isn't the most ridiculous thing in the world in the end, as long as you can stack that potency up and really get him fast as well. I guess you can use him just about anywhere because that AoE stun is nuts. Alright, well that's it for me. I'm going to finish my delicious coffee and go do a job or something. Take it easy.